Last of Us episode 5. Bit late to the party, I think. Super Bowl Sunday had things moved around a little bit. Big up to all the yous, like, man. I see everyone, I see thumbnails all over the place with episode 5 reviews and stuff, and I'm out here busy as hell wanting to get to it, but I didn't want to rush watching through it just so I could do the review. So I'm off the back of watching it now. Super Bowl was last night. Just finished watching Last of Us about 20 minutes ago. So yeah, I thought I could do the review right now. Let's get straight into it. This is my favourite episode so far, by a long shot. Was it perfect? No, but I really liked it. They gave a bit of everything in this episode. All the risk, all the dynamics between the characters, the acting, the clickers. Everything was on point in this one. So let's get into it. So this basically kicks off from the end of the last one, what finished with Sam and Henry pointing the gun at Joel and Ellie. And then we go from there and we go 10 days back before. I think that's where it goes. And we basically get to see Sam and Henry's backstory. And it runs all the way up until when they get into that part where they've got the guns to Joel and Ellie's face. I love how they did this because in doing this, within the backstory, you could see Henry watching Joel and Ellie when they were shooting in the store when they first got into the area they are. So I thought that was pretty cool. I like when they do retrospective stuff like that. Kind of like in Batman vs Superman when you get to see it from Batman's point of view after. So yeah, the backstory pretty much is that Sam and Henry, obviously Henry in particular, because it's the older brother, they are collaborators, snitchers, and his little brother has leukemia, and they offer up somebody in return for medicine for the leukemia. It goes on like that. It basically becomes wanted because of that, because the person who offers up is Kathleen's brother as well. Yeah, bit weird. Obviously, I'll tell you this year. I thought that the backstory was cool between them because I love seeing the connection between the brothers. They changed a few things from the game. Sam's deaf in this, whereas in the game he's not deaf, but he added another dynamic to his character. It gave the feeling of responsibility a lot more to Henry because his brother's deaf as well, so he's unaware of stuff. Especially in a world where clickers are reacting to sound, he can't hear what he's doing wrong. If he's knocking into something, if he's stepping on something, if he's stepping on glass and making noise, he can't hear it. So everything's down to his brother in that regard. They end up meeting and getting solace with the doctor, and they're in a hideout. The doctor goes missing, which we saw in episode 4, I think, at the beginning. That episode, the doctor ends up with Kathleen. So we know. I think her name's Kathleen. So we know how he got there. They find out where Joel and Ellie are. They're basically just hungry. They're hungry. They have no ammo. They have nothing to their name. Joel and Ellie say they can stay with them. I like the bonding between Sam and Ellie in that mode. Even though there's like quite an age gap. Obviously in the game the age gap isn't that far apart, but it's a lot further in this one. But I like that. Basically they need each other. The way Henry offers Joel anything was the fact that he can find a way out of the city. So if you bring me with you, we can find a way out throughout the tunnels. He said that there's been no affected there for 3 years, which does come back to bite him in the ass in the end. So then they find a way out. They're on the way out of the area. They get to a house, and then you realise there's a guy there with a sniper rifle. In the game, the guy's a younger guy. This one's an older dude, and he's just trying to take him out. And Joel sneaks in, finds out, tells the guy to hand the gun over, and he realises the walkie-talkie, and on the other side of that walkie-talkie is Kathleen, and they're on their way, so they know what's going on. And then after that, they turn up within like 20 seconds, and there's no way out for Joel and Ellie and Sam and Henry. So Joel's stuck in the house with a sniper rifle, and then he starts. You get it, because that's the so when that happens, comes through. He manages to snipe the driver of a truck what's trying to run through everyone. The truck blows up, goes into a house, And then Kathleen comes and then points the gun at Henry, and then Henry pretty much says to Sam and Ellie, go, and I'll offer myself up. And you get a little dynamic there, and then you see a bit more craziness from Kathleen. She basically says like, "No, you son, you think that your brother's more important than the rest of everybody else? Kids die." It's just kind of a psychopath still, but you'll get, yeah. Just as she's about to shoot him, the truck blows up and goes into the ground, and we saw this from the previous episode that the ground was a bit soft. And remember, Henry told everyone there was no affected under the ground. There was. Yeah? When that, you knew it was coming, the hole in the ground, and all these zombies ran out, or the affected, the clickers, they ran out. There was a, what are they called, man? The blungers, the bloopers, I can't remember what the big one, the big one, the one that looks like Korg, he came out, and all of them, man, they ran out World War Z style, like full speed and stuff. I thought this part was incredible, by the way. The way they filmed it. Although, there's some, I would say the stuff they've changed from the game, and I always think if you're going to change something from the source material, you need to make it better. They didn't make it better, but it was understandable for the story, and some things were pointless. I wish they had got rid of more of the stuff to do with Kathleen and them people, because then in the end it became needless and pointless and kind of wasted a bit of time. I would have much rather got more Sam and Henry and Joel and Ellie stuff, but I digress. Zombies are going crazy and stuff like that. Joel is picking them off from the roof. Hey, cold. It made you feel like he was in the game, that part. I thought that was dope. You see the anguish in his face when he thinks Ellie's been caught, and you really realise in that moment how much he's starting to love Ellie. And when I mean great acting just on facial expressions from Joel. Great acting. Also, Ellie in this comes into her own. I think her acting's great. Her trying to protect Sam and Henry, they're under a car and the clickers are trying to grab them. She gets the neck stabs in from the game. I thought that was cool as well. And then she gets into a car and one of the infected get inside the car with her. And, comes in and that. She managed to escape. She gets out, goes to run, and then Kathleen's pointing the gun at her. Kathleen's in front of her now with the gun. And just as she's about to kill her, the affected jumps on Kathleen and beats the shit out of her. I'm talking about NyQuil, yeah? Takes her out, night, yeah? Sleepy time. Bow, jabs. And then, rips up her face and that. The blunger, blooper, whatever that big thing's called, her guard who's with her the whole time, the one who looks like a serious guy but is a bit of a simp, yeah, because he just listens to everything Kathleen says. She's not believable as a leader, by the way, but he gets his head tore off his body, just ripped apart. We move on from there. They all escape. They go into the hotel room. And then you get Joel and Henry connecting a little bit more, talking about what's next. Joel cracks half a smile and basically says to him, like, yo, I don't know how we're getting to Wyoming, but you're very welcome to come. And Henry's like very grateful for that. And in the side story, you can see that Ellie and Sam in the background in the bedroom are bonding way more. They've been joking for all out the episode and stuff. He starts to ask questions. Obviously, he's deaf, so he has to write it down on an Etch-a-Sketch. And he's starting to ask questions about, are you still the same person inside when you become one of those infected and that? And you can kind of see where it's leading, but not so much because you're like, he's a kid. And then you find out that he's been infected in his leg. And she does her best to take care of him and make sure that he feels okay and feels safe. She even cuts her hand and shows him that, no, everything's cool. He says, will you stay awake with me? The next morning, she wakes up and he's sitting on the edge of the bed. Now, I thought they were going to swerve us on this part. He's facing the opposite way. You can't see him. Logic tells you that this guy's infected already, and when the camera gets him, he's going to jump. But then you're like, they wouldn't do that, though. They're making it obvious, so then when there's going to be that little jump thing, and you're like, oh, thank God he's safe. Now, because of episode 3, with the way that the guys died on their own terms, I thought it is possible that Sam and Henry in this version can end up with Joel and Ellie and carry on. She taps him on the shoulder and this man jumps on her, bruv. Sam is infected and he tries to kill her. He's all over and that. Joel straight away wakes up, goes to shoot him. Henry stops him. And then I thought it looked like Henry was going to attack Joel at that point, and he takes the gun and shoots Sam in the face pretty instantly, to be honest, like quick. So he had to kill his own brother. The saddest part about this was his whole life, from what we picked up in these episodes, has been revolving around his brother. The reason why he's a wanted man is because getting medicine for his brother's leukemia. It's the saddest thing that happens, and then he just shoots himself as well. And Sam and Henry's dead. and it's so sad. They bury them. Ellie puts like it just gets on top of Sam's grave and saying sorry on it. I really connected with Ellie's character in this one. I thought she was really good. I thought her acting was great, and on top of that, she's starting to get this strong persona, stronger than Joel, in fact, because she was like with Joel. As soon as they buried him, she's like, "Come on, let's go." And even Joel looks a bit confused, like, "Yo, how are you this strong?" But the one problem I have with this episode, and I don't want to moan about it, because literally it's my favorite episode so far. There was so much pointless stuff in there. Like, we didn't care about Kathleen and that group. We didn't care about her side man. We didn't care about the doctor. We didn't care about her brother. And, like, we cared about Sam and Henry, but everyone died. Everyone died in the first place, so you're just wasting my time, is what you're telling me. I connected to characters that are not even going to make it past 44 minutes. Now, what I will say is, maybe that's me as a viewer, that I have to take a different stance watching this show. Because after the last episode, I was willing to just be like, I'm going to watch it because I've already started and do my reviews, but I'm really not feeling it. Today's one, I couldn't get... This was an episode where I can get up and go toilet in between or go make a drink. I wanted to stay there and watch it to the end. I was on the edge, so I like that. But at the same time, I'm just like, don't waste time with backstories was my thing. But now I'm thinking, okay, it's a different type, it's a different take on these apocalyptic zombie type movies. You know what I mean? Usually we're following a group or a few people through a storyline, and there's little side stories, but they're involved in all of them most of the time. Even with like Walking Dead, you know what I mean? Like they're always connected to each other in some way. This one feels like it's just Joel and Ellie. If you know what, it's just like a game, and it's what. To be fair, it's just Joel and Ellie going on their journey, and we're gonna find pockets of stories just to show what's going on in the world with people who are the last on the planet as well. But it means that every episode could be that we connect with a character, and by the time we get to the end, they're dead. So, I've been your boy Good Savage. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I enjoyed it though, man. So yeah, this episode gets a high rating for me, and it's made me want to watch the next episode. Please don't. Hopefully it goes up from here. I don't want it to go and like digress on itself. And, yeah, I mean, yeah.